Everybody, welcome in. Cricket presents the warm-up. I'm Neil Beasley, but we are with the professor, Matt Diggs, our insider, to talk all things Texas high school football. It's already started again. Professor, I know that you are already deep into it. Welcome.
I'm glad to be here. Week one, we have so many good games. I don't know where you're going to take us on this journey.
All right, well, let's start going. This is the lineup, and we've got a great one to start off with. It's a couple of teams, both top five preseason in their respective districts. Frisco Lone Star, the Rangers, and the Argyle Eagles. And, both teams you look at, and they are both explosive. So this should be a great one in week one.
Explosive. The talent is going to be on display, and this is a big game for Coach Rodgers. He is 99-11 at home. He is looking for win 100, but Lone Star won this game last year, and I expect them to take care of business this year. I think one thing that could derail Lone Star is the quarterback room. Carice Hoyt last year had an amazing campaign at quarterback. He had almost 4,400 all-purpose yards, but they're going to be starting a sophomore, Trey Wright, who as a JV player had 49 touchdowns and over 2,000 yards. How is that going to work out? We know about Davian Gross. We know about Ryder Mix. The defense is loaded with Jordan Deck. But Argyle, they've got a lot of offense. I think it is going to be a fireworks show offensively. It's going to be what defense is going to get a stop. McGuire Gaspers, Watson Bell, Logan Rexroth. But when I look at it, I look at the defensive side of the ball. I think Lone Star has a deeper defense. I think they've got more talent. I think it's going to come down to a turnover late, but I like Lone Star in this game by a touchdown.
Boy, that's a great week one matchup. They're going to learn a lot about each team's going to learn a lot about themselves in that one. Got a lot of those actually this week for week one. And that's the great thing about week one. This one is a 6A, 5A matchup, both very highly ranked teams. Denton Guyer, the Wildcats, and Lido Bearcats. You know, both those teams are always good, no matter how much they lose or how much they have come back. This is another great one in week one.
It really is. And this has been a little bit of a rivalry. They played in non-district for a few years now. And one of my questions for Denton Guyer is how are they going to manage the quarterback room? A quarterback named Carter Morgan has come out of nowhere in the offseason, and they've got Zephyr Cruz. So what's going to happen there? But we know the wide receiver room is solid with DJ Reese and Eric Reese and Sonic Shelton and Corbin Glasgow. With Alito, we still have some questions about the quarterback since Gavin Beard transferred to All Saints. I've had some Alito insiders say from 1 to 22, this is one of their most talented classes in a while. But given that there's a lack of varsity experience with that talented class, I think in week one, Denton Guyer is going to have a little bit of an edge. I think Alito is going to be a team that gets better as the season goes on. Week one, even at home, I like Denton Guyer.
All right, and our third game features the D1 state champs from last year in 6A, North Crowley, the Panthers. Boy, Lancaster, they are in a tough district. They always have tough schedules. They always play tough people. That's a tough one for Lancaster to come out of the gate and play North Crowley in week one.
It's going to be tough for North Crowley. I think one of the stories that we're going to be looking at is who is going to be playing in this game with DEC meetings and transfers and all kinds of things. Who is going to be playing? I've already heard that Jacob Torres was ruled ineligible. I think both teams have some very important transfers. Are they going to be ruled eligible? And another thing for North Crowley is what is the impact of losing their offensive coordinator, Eli Reinhardt, who is now a Hutto Hippo down in South? Because when you watch North Crowley, they would go for it on fourth down. They would have all kinds of crazy decision making, and I think that was Coach Reinhardt in his analytics-based capacity to calling a game. But what we do know with North Crowley is they're going to be loaded on the infrastructure, the offensive line and the defensive line, and that's Lancaster's probably their Achilles heel. I think Lancaster is going to have more explosive skill players in this game, but North Crowley, week one, I think it's going to be a slugfest, a lot of defense involved, but I think North Crowley is going to win this game by a score. Last year it was 29-21. I expect something similar this year.
Yeah, they're going to have some guys step up because they sure did lose a lot. That's for sure. You're right about that one. All right, another one, and our last one really in this group is really some teams that might not be on people's radar yet. The Forney Jackrabbits and Lake Highlands Wildcats both could be explosive. Neither one ranked yet in the preseason polls, but it could be a good one in week one for them as well.
Yeah, this game is going to be a litmus test for both teams because we have Forney as not making the playoffs, and I know they feel very disrespected about that. We have Lake Highlands winning the district. This game last year, Forney won it. They won 34-30, but we expected Forney to roll Lake Highlands, and I think it gave us insight into both teams that Lake Highlands was going to be better than expected, and Forney might have some questions. 40 skill players are fantastic. Nelson Peterson, Javian Osborne, Amari Jahil, they've got the big players, but their questions are offensive and defensive lines. Lake Highlands, their best part of their team is their linebackers with Jeremiah Jones and Aiden Little. But I think Forney has just got too much skill talent. Remember last year, Lake Highlands lost to Flower Mound. Flower Mound didn't even make the playoffs. Lake Highlands picks a tough district. I think the Forney Jackrabbits, even though I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs, I think they're going to win this game and give us a little bit of insight that they're going to be better than we expect.
A lot of great games in week one. We're going to take a break from talking about the games because there's some great coaches out there in the DFW area as well. And there's nobody better to talk to the coaches than our own Ward Fasold in this week's Media Day segment.
The warm-up is presented by Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket has jaw-dropping new unlimited plans.
Whoa! Your favorite burger whenever you want it. Whataburger is open 24/7, just like you like it. Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
All right, it's Media Day. I'm joined with Todd Rodgers from Argyle High School. If you've seen any of Diggs' podcasts this year, he got him as a big favorite. I actually asked Diggs, Coach, I said, what game are you most looking forward to? He said, I got to be honest, I'm looking forward to Argyle against Sock this year. I was like, golly, they got to get through regular season and 4 playoff games first. That's how high hopes there are media-wise. I'm assuming your expectations are pretty high in that locker room as well.
Oh, man, we have a great football team. They have the most disciplined attitude. They really show up to work every day. And yeah, I'm not predicting that same prediction as the media is predicting. I want to, have a strong week of preparation for Lone Star and kind of teach our football team how to get ready and prepare week after week. And so we're looking forward to it. We're strong in some good areas. We've got some youth in some areas that we've got to grow and blossom in. A lot of maturity needs to be earned over the next few weeks. So our football team has got a good foundation, but we still have a long ways to go.
Now, you never shy away from the non-district opponents and start your season off with the Lone Star team with so many D1 players over there. Obviously, you had them at Toyota Stadium last year. This year, you're bringing them onto your home turf. How much are you looking forward to that game, and what do you hope to get out of that thing?
Well,
besides healthy.
Oh, yeah, we want to get out healthy. We had 3 pretty critical injuries last year after that game. It's just a tough physical football game, which is their style of play and our style of play. And certainly, we just want to be a better opponent than we were last year. I think that we got in there and kind of stalled out sometimes offensively. And I'm obviously the opponent's pretty good, right? So we got to give them credit. But we've put together a good game plan over the course of the summer, and we're ready to get out there and give them a good, honest competition to see, who's best. They got the best of us last year. We were up 2 scores, and we let that slip away. But we let it slip away to some pretty good players. They were dynamic the next 8 or 9 weeks consecutively. But we're looking forward to it. Jeff Rayburn does a fabulous job. My coaches are telling me there's 8 national recruits over there at Lone Star. I wish I'd have known that. I'd probably try to avoid scheduling them, but that's not the case. I've got some pretty good players over here in Argyle, and we're going to try to give them our best.
You would have penciled in Sunset or something like that. Talk to me about, you talked about the good players you have, and you got good experienced players too, guys that have gotten big time playing time for you. Gasperson, you probably didn't know he was going to play a lot as a sophomore, and he did. Now he's carrying that thing into the senior year. You got Bell, you got Julian Caldwell. Talk about the experience you have and how you're hoping to lead the way here this season.
You know what? Our senior class is absolutely fabulous. There's kids on both sides of the ball, real jovial kids, good-spirited kids. They love practicing. They love being with each other. Obviously McGuire Gasperson was a fabulous quarterback as a sophomore, and then his junior campaign was dynamic, but he put so much work in the winter after his junior campaign. Spring ball was electric for him, and there's more continued work over the summer. So with 7-on-7, so I think he's in a good spot to be our fearless leader as he has been the last couple of years. But the maturity in our receiving core, Ake O'Neill coming onto the landscape. And then, Watson Bell still a little bit behind with an injury right now. So we've having some good players fit in for him and pick up the slack for him. Nathan Bruce is going to go over and play some running back this year. So we're teaching our kids a couple different positions on offense and defense to fill in at different times. So I feel really good where we are currently.
Well, I'm going to leave you at this because we were talking about 05 memories, and you've got memories from way back in the day. Does it ever get old, the anticipation you have for that first Friday night, making sure that your Argyle ISD paid the bills on the lights and they do come on and you're ready to play? Does that ever get old for you?
It does not. It does not. You would think it is, but, every year it's 0-0. And I love the off season just as much as I do love the in season, the preparation, and just all those incremental little steps you go through to get a football team ready. It's a maturation process unlike any other class. I'm sure a math teacher loves teaching a math class and bringing them together. I'm sure the English teacher does, but bringing a football team together and for everybody to submit to under the heading of football team and belong to the team and contribute to the team. I love that concept. And that's a bell cow mindset around here is that you better fall under the direction of a good leadership. And we have that with this senior class.
Excellent. Well, it's going to be our game of the week, the Lone Star thing, and we're looking forward to seeing you, not just that game, but all throughout the season. Possibly 16 games, but again, I'm not putting that on you. Coach, I appreciate you joining me today.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
The warm-up is presented by Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket has jaw-dropping new unlimited plans.
The #1 selling compact tractor in Texas. For details, visit gokubota.com. Kubota, because you can. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Kia, movement that inspires.
Thank you, Ward. We look forward to talking with great coaches each and every week. But now it's time for the agenda. There's a few more games out there in week 1 that we think you might like. And another one is a 6A, 5A matchup. The North Shore Mustangs taking on the South Oak Cliff Bears. South Oak Cliff with 4 straight title game appearances, but going up against 6A North Shore and their athletes.
And North Shore is a team that, it's a perennial state championship finalist, but not last year. So we're going to have to figure out what is North Shore this year. How do they respond? South Oak Cliff is on a losing streak when it comes to state championships with 2 straight losses. But when you're playing 6A D1 with 5A Division II, it comes down to depth. It comes down to size. It comes down to speed. North Shore is going to have it. They've got a lot of graduates. We got Caleb Maryland coming back, who got some spot time last year. Quan Nunn, a transfer, a very talented transfer, Desmond Christian, are just 3 of the highlighters for North Shore. South Oak Cliff, there's a lot of buzz in South Dallas that this is the year that South Oak Cliff is going to knock off one of these big 6A Division I schools. But I got to see it to believe it. I know it makes them better, it makes them tougher, but with just a little bit of inexperience on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to take North Shore to win this game by 2 touchdowns.
All right, another 4A, 5A matchup, but a good one. Stephenville, the Yellow Jackets, taking on Midlothian Heritage, the Jaguars, and Heritage area finalists, but they're going to need to find a quarterback this year. And for Stephenville, I think they returned 10 guys on defense, so it could get nasty there.
And this game was 38-3 last year. All of a sudden, I remember Ward and I on the podcast, we were like, what happened here? Because we expected a lot of big things out of Midlothian Heritage. I think this game is going to be a closer game than last year, but I think Stephenville is going to have the edge. Zako Davis is expected to kind of be that Davian Gross all-purpose player. He had 1,150 yards rushing last year, 20 touchdowns. He was a receiver, quarterback, or running back. At some point in the year, we're going to have all kinds of highlights on him. Camden Parker at wide receiver for Midlothian Heritage. Stephenville just has too much depth. Their top line players, I think, are going to be a little bit better than Midlothian Heritage. It's going to be closer, but I like Stephenville by 10.
All right, we got another one that might be off people's radar in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Jesuit Rangers and the Hebron Hawks. Jesuit, 13 returning starters, and they were a playoff team. And then Hebron, they kind of returned a bunch of people except their quarterback who went off to Rice.
And Hebron's got some questions at quarterback. They've had a couple of transfers over there. There's going to be a quarterback competition. I wouldn't be surprised to see in the box score 2 or 3 quarterbacks as Hebron is trying to figure it out. But Hebron's got receivers. They've got depth on the defensive side of the ball. Jesuit just has too many questions for me. And District 7-6A has struggled in these non-district games. I think Hebron is going to win this game comfortably. I've got Hebron by 2 scores. But if Jesuit wins this game, I think that could put Lake Highlands on notice that Jesuit is coming back for their district crown.
All right, another one that could, it's another of those 6A, 5As. Rockwall Heath, the Heath Hawks, Rodney Webb was over at Rockwall for all those years, explosive offensively. He's kind of getting that thing rolling. It may have taken him another year or so that he thought would happen, but he's starting to get it rolling there offensively with the Hawks. Maybe this is their year, but week 1 they're going up against Highland Park, who, as we all know, they always come prepared to play.
Yeah, Rodney Webb has a little bit of intel into Highland Park because he served as the athletic director before coming over and
Not long, but he was there, right?
But I have this game on upset watch because Rockwall Heath has so much talent. They were so injured, so banged up last year. Hopefully in week 1 they're going to have everybody. Buck Randall, though, and at home, I've learned so many times on the podcast, I always think this is going to be the time that Highland Park loses at home. They never do. You cannot pick against Highland Park at home, but Rockwall Heath is going to push them and give them the kind of game that they need to get ready for another state championship run. Highland Park late by 7 at home.
Death, taxes, and Highland Park winning at home. You got that right. All right, that's going to do it for us this week, but we're going to be here each and every week. So please join us. We love talking about Texas high school football. We know you love watching it as well and hearing all about it. So we leave you today with our North Texas area rankings from Professor Diggs. Until then, enjoy your games this weekend.